Alright guys, so we're going to cover the first things you should do to your Arrma Gorgon. Two-wheel drive, alright? I don't know why I said two-wheel drive, that's the only one they got. The Gorgon. The reason I'm right outside my house and not somewhere else, like a little bit further off in the field there, is whenever you get a new brushed RC, you have to break in the motor if you want longevity out of the motor. Now, it'll make it last a lot longer most of the time. If you just take it out of the box and go straight out into the wilderness and full throttle that sucker, you're going to end up damaging the brush that rides on the shaft on the back of the motor. And all it is like a little block, right? You got two of them, and then you got the shaft in the middle. All right, so you got a little block, right? And you got the shaft of the motor. Well, if you just go out, that contact point between that shaft and that brush is super small because you got a flat surface on a round surface. And then when you want to, the reason you're breaking it in, you're just going to wear a groove into that brush. When you rub a groove into that brush, you'll have a lot better contact point. And when you send the voltage through there, it's a lot less likely to explode the brush or break and chip off the brush. When you break or chip off a brush, your brushless motor will then lock up, or it just won't get a contact and it won't spin it. So that's why you want to break it in, and I'm going to show you how to do that right meow. All right, first thing, down here, always turn on your controller first, transmitter, and then your car. It's connected, and what you want to do is on your controller, you got, hold on now, stop tracking my face. Track the controller. I love this new Pocket 3. You have these right here. This is your throttle limiter, is what they're calling it. I put it on 50%. That's your steering. Don't mess with that. That's when you go right, it goes left, and you go left, it goes right. That's what that's for. Steering rate, steering trim. Alright, so whenever you're wearing in those brushes, you don't want to accelerate super hard. You're going to gently, and you want to do this for at least one whole battery pack. And you can give it a little bit more juice, but just don't floorboard it, because you send too much voltage or amperage to those brushes and then they'll break off. And also, you don't want to drive in the grass, because that will put a lot of load on that little brushes and defeat the purpose. So just keep driving it around. See, like see how much it bogged down in that grass? It's because it's having to put more voltage to it if you wanted it to stay at the same speed.
From my winter hell, I've got candles and candy. I can be your daddy if you only let me creep into your prison cell. Hey baby, can you tell?
Alright, so up until this point, I've been about quarter throttle on, not a half throttle, I guess, because it's 50%. About half throttle, and just hold it at half throttle. Now I'm going to start pulsing it, gradually pulsing it, not just full on send it, but half, and then harder. So just like smooth all the way to the back, and then letting it back out, and smooth, and no sending a lot of current all at one time.
I'm not a criminal, your choice is seminal. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say, just find your way and try to stay.
Alright, so I drove into the grass there, so I went and got it. That way I wouldn't damage the brush. Anywho, filling the motor. I see I can steady put my hand on it. It's warm, but it ain't over super warm, so continue at it. You want to really take your time here, guys. Make sure you do it one whole battery pack to really break in those brushes. It'll make your car last way longer if it has those brushes broke in. Well, not your car, but your motor. It'll make your motor last a whole lot longer. Anywho.
Speak alone, stand in your row. Try not to show this life's a show.
And just like that, that's the first battery pack. So that's footage is mostly going to be sped up until, you know, it has a couple things I had to say. But you won't have to deal with the amount of boredom that I did, at least not until you get your Grom. Or dang, why do I keep calling it a Grom? I got the Grom on my mind. I'm wanting to go buy the Grom, but I don't know, you know, if I should or not. But let me know in the comments if I should go buy the Arrma Grom and give you guys my opinion on that thing. But for a little bit more money, you get a whole 1/10 scale size truck like this that you can run outside with no problem at all. And you can't run it inside, of course, but so the next thing after you do this, guys, the next thing you need to do is reinforce your body, because that thing is flimsier than I don't know what, a wet noodle. So I never really reinforced the body before, but I did the shoe goo and the tape inside of here, and now this thing is substantially stronger than what it was. But this thing stinks. It smells like super glue and silicone mixed together. But I don't know if that's what it is, but that's what it smells like it is. So on my next body, I'm probably going to use, I think it's cement tape. It's kind of like this, but it's supposed to be stickier. And I'll use a Rhino liner or Flex liner or Flex Seal, something like that. I'll give that a try. I'll probably do that on my Crate 8S body. If you guys want to see a video on that, let me know, and I'll do that. That's the two immediate things you need to do with your Grom. Or, dang it, I keep calling it a Grom. Your Gorgon. That's the two first things you need to do with your Gorgon. And then, a lot of traffic going by. And then, probably what I would do is look into another servo saver, because that dude's going to break. That dude's going to break probably fairly quickly. So we need to see what the aftermarket comes into play. It shouldn't be a very hard part to replace. Like Talbot said, you don't have to break the whole thing apart. You just unscrew it from your servo and then unscrew it from your two ends on your two links, your camber links or whatever, toe links, steering links to steer the front end of it. Just 2, 3, it'll be 3 screws altogether. But I'm gonna go charge this battery up and then probably start filming a bash video after that battery gets back together. I might do another battery pack. It depends on what those brushes look like. I'll take me the camera's not gonna be able to pick it up, but I'll take a flashlight and shine in there and see how much dust and brush dust I can see that came off that brushes. But there you go, guys. This will be the part where I'm like, yo, subscribe, but I'm not really gonna tell y'all to do that. If you feel like the content's getting better, and you've seen a couple of my videos, consider subscribing for me. Anyway, deuces. See y'all later.